Welcome to Steady Growth, where we build money, character, and resilience the same way. Small, steady, and on purpose. No hype, just honest steps that add up. Let's begin.
Two friends, same exact debt. A little store card, a medium credit card, one big card with a brutal rate, a car loan. Same income, same spare $200 a month to throw at the pile. Friend one does what every spreadsheet online says to do. Attack the highest interest rate first, because that debt costs the most. Flawless math. Friend two does what the spreadsheet calls foolish. She attacks the smallest balance first, the little store card, while the big expensive one just sits there compounding. So which friend is smarter? Watch what happens. 18 months later, friend 2 is debt-free, and friend 1 quit around month 7, paid extra for a while, saw the giant balance barely move, got discouraged, slid back to minimums. The pile is still there. Tonight, we settle the most argued question in personal finance, Snowball versus Avalanche. And the answer is very this channel. The math says one thing, the research on actual humans says another, and the only plan that gets you out of debt is the one you finish. Let's look at both, honestly, with zero shame for anyone standing in a pile of it. Start with the mechanics, and notice both plans agree on almost everything. Step 1 of both, list your debts. Step 2 of both, pay the minimum on every single one every month, no exceptions. That's not strategy, that's the floor, and nothing tonight changes it. Step 3 is the entire debate. Where does your extra money go? The Avalanche says aim every spare dollar at the highest interest rate, because that's the debt billing you hardest. Kill it, then roll its payment onto the next priciest, on down the line. Picture a slide crashing from the peak, debts stacked by rate, the most expensive one circled at the top, and the whole thing falling fastest where it costs the most. The snowball, popularized by Dave Ramsey, says ignore the rates. Aim every spare dollar at the smallest balance. Kill it fast, feel the win, then roll its whole payment onto the next smallest. Picture a snowball rolling downhill, getting bigger with every account it flattens. Each debt you close makes the punch behind the next one heavier. Now picture both methods running at once. Two stacks of debt, side by side, both starting the same height. Run the arithmetic and the avalanche wins. Always. By definition, hitting the most expensive debt first means you pay the least total interest. So watch its stack. It shrinks a hair slower at the top, then drains faster and faster as the priciest debt dies. The snowball stack starts shrinking from the bottom. The little ones vanish first, quick and visible. Then it gathers speed too. Depending on your mix, the difference at the end might be a few $100s in a few months. With very lopsided rates, more. So if humans were spreadsheets, we'd end the episode right here, hand the trophy to the Avalanche, and go home. But you've watched this channel. You know exactly where this turns. Humans are not spreadsheets, and the research on what actually drags families across the finish line is where this gets good. Here's what researchers found when they stopped modeling debt payoff and started watching it. A team at Northwestern's Kellogg School looked at thousands of real households clawing their way out of real debt, and the same uncomfortable result kept surfacing. The families who finished weren't the ones paying the mathematically optimal dollars, they were the ones closing accounts. Eliminating whole debts one entire account at a time predicted sticking with the program all the way through. Other experiments found the same shape. Concentrating your payments on a single debt instead of spreading the effort thin measurably raised people's motivation and how hard they pushed to repay. Why would that be? You already know, because we've built every piece of it on this channel. A closed account is evidence, undeniable, visible, done. A slightly smaller giant balance is just a giant balance. The weight of the pile eases with every name you cross off the list. 4 debts genuinely feels lighter than 5, in a way that the same total, just rearranged, never will. And motivation, like we said in the habits episode, isn't fuel you start with, it's exhaust the wins produce. Picture 2 ledgers side by side.
On the Snowball side, a small line stamped closed, a real X, the account gone. On the Avalanche side, a progress bar that has barely twitched against a mountain. So the Snowball isn't bad math wearing a folksy sweater. It's a motivation engine that happens to cost a little interest, a machine for manufacturing the early visible wins that keep a multi-year grind alive. The Avalanche optimizes the debt. The Snowball optimizes the human. And the human is the one doing the paying. So how do you actually choose? Ask one honest question. What's the bigger risk to my family? Paying some extra interest or quitting? If you run on systems, if you'll grind for years on pure arithmetic without needing a cheering section, take the Avalanche and keep your interest. Genuinely, that's the better deal for you. But if you're a person or a couple whose past money plans have died of discouragement somewhere around month 6, take the Snowball without 1 ounce of shame. The little bit of extra interest is the cheapest motivation you will ever buy, and it beats the bottomless cost of quitting every time. And you're allowed to mix them. One popular middle path: if a single debt carries a truly brutal rate, hit that one early no matter what, because some math is too loud to ignore. But clear the tiny nuisance balances first for the quick wins, then go by rate. Or run a clean Snowball and jump the order exactly once for the one debt that keeps you up at night. The purity pleas do not exist. The finish line never checks your method. Then, and this is the step that outranks the entire debate, automate it. Whatever your extra payment is, schedule it for payday. The same way we set up the savings transfer a few episodes back, so the plan runs itself on your tired weeks too. An automated Snowball beats a willpower avalanche every single month of the year. Now, one honest thing before we close, because the Snowball versus Avalanche fight quietly skips the part that matters most. The order you pay in is the small lever. The big lever is the gap, the monthly space between what comes in and what goes out, the space that funds any plan at all. An hour spent widening that gap with the buckets and trimmed subscriptions we've built across the series usually beats a month of fussing over payoff order. The best strategy with no fuel goes nowhere. A mediocre strategy with real fuel finishes. And while we're being honest, lenders sometimes lower a rate for a customer who simply asks, especially one with an improving payment streak. So make the unglamorous phone call before you grind for years. Just never let a consolidation become permission to refill the cards it emptied. Close the habit, not only the balance. And, said plainly and kindly, if the minimums themselves don't fit inside your income, if the math breaks before strategy even begins, that is not a Snowball problem, and no video should pretend otherwise. Nonprofit credit counseling exists for exactly that moment. It's usually free or close to it, and reaching for it is the financially competent move, not the defeated one. There is no shame anywhere in this episode. Debt is a math problem wearing an emotions costume. We handle both around here. So here's the whole thing to carry with you. 2 good plans exist, and the internet will argue about them forever. The Avalanche saves the most interest. The Snowball, according to the actual evidence on actual families, gets more people all the way to the end. The math favors one, the humans favor the other. And your answer comes from a single, honest question about your own household. Is our risk the interest or the quitting? Choose accordingly, mix freely, feel zero shame in either direction, and then do the part that matters more than the choice. List the debts tonight, protect every minimum, point your extra at the first target, automate it so the plan survives your worst months on autopilot, cross off each account like the exhibit it is, let the wins manufacture the motivation the spreadsheet forgot to budget for, and keep rolling the freed-up payments forward until the mountain is just a story you tell. Both paths reach the same summit. Snowball, Avalanche, honestly, the debt doesn't pair. It answers to one strategy only, the one that's still running in year 2. Pick the plan you'll finish, then finish it. If something here was useful today, The best thing you can do is use it tonight in one small way. And if you'd like to keep growing with us, you're welcome in our tribe at familycreative.org. It's where we gather the tools and resources we build for people doing this on purpose, and where you can learn more, share what's working, and help someone a few steps behind you. That's the whole point. Small, steady, together. Be kind, try hard, do the work, build the family. We'll see you in the next one.